Today's event, that's the bell ringing ceremony, which was exclusively held to ring the bell and certainly to celebrate the visit of the World International Chamber of Commerce Chairperson's visit to Sri Lanka, Maria Fernanda Garza, and also to commemorate 100 years of ICC arbitration at Colombo Stock Exchange. The International Chamber of Commerce Sri Lanka is the domestic chapter of Paris-based International World Business Organization, the International Chamber of Commerce. The international organization has over the years expanded its roots in 130 countries. ICC has become an organization today globally representing 45 million companies worldwide, facilitating trade of $10 trillion. Fostering this partnership and this cooperation purely because of the current situation where Sri Lanka finds itself at present, terms of reform and the recovery path our island nation is currently in, the ICC certainly plays a pivotal role to foster possibilities to emerge as a nation from a period of economic turbulence.
Commerce, for whom we host this event today, a very warm welcome to you, madam, and we are very privileged to have you today to ring the bell. Also, a very warm welcome to our special guest, His Excellency Badli Hisham bin Adam, High Commissioner of Malaysia. Guests from ICC that include my good friend Mr. Shanil Fernando, Chairman of ICC Sri Lanka, not a stranger to the trading flow, former Director of the CSC, and we certainly hope your presence will also foster greater cooperation amongst our two organizations. Representing SEC Chairman Mr. Faisal Saleh, thank you so much for being here, sir. And Mr. Chintaka Mendis, DG of SEC. Distinguished invitees from listed companies, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a privilege to have Ms. Garza ring the bell today, I think, and it's all the more important if you see what ICC has become as an organization globally. Represents 45 million companies across the globe, present in 130 countries, and facilitating trade of $10 trillion, which is significant numbers. And I think it's all the more important that we foster this partnership and this cooperation because of the situation where Sri Lanka finds itself today. And I think in terms of the reforms and the recovery path that we are currently in, I think ICC has a great part to play, and fostering that cooperation can really help the country, Sri Lanka, emerge out of the crisis that we find ourselves in. I think ICC also plays a very significant role in terms of policy level formulation. National policies in many areas, policy advocacy, trade facilitation, SME support, free trade agreements, banking, insurance, etc. But also, I think one of the key factors of ICC is the dispute resolution mechanism. And I think that has gone a long way and is probably going to help Sri Lanka in terms of growing business with our trade partners, but also then using the dispute resolution mechanism to ensure that we have no problems. So I'm going to keep my address short. It is indeed a privilege to welcome you all. We don't have too much time to ring the bell, so I'm going to sort of wind up. Again, a very warm welcome, and Ms. Garza, thank you for gracing this occasion with your presence, and we sincerely hope you will enjoy your first trip to Sri Lanka. Thank you.
ICC Sri Lanka, in view of rapid business changes, has formed committees to look into problems in specialized areas. These make a good platform for companies in Sri Lanka to discuss, debate and suggest changes on subjects related to their field. This event concluded together with the participation with the attendance of many prominent personalities, while the special guest being His Excellency Badli Hisham bin Adam, High Commissioner of Malaysia, Mr. Shanil Fernando, Chairman of ICC Sri Lanka, Mr. Dilshan Weerasekara, Chairman CSE, Mr. Rajiv Bandaranaike, CEO CSE, Mr. Faisal Saleh, the Chairman of the SEC, Mr. Chintaka Mendis, DG SEC, Professor Ajanta Dharmasiri, and many CEOs from prominent banks, and together with a distinguished panel of attendees.
Friends, colleagues, distinguished guests, Your Excellencies, I'm absolutely honored to join you today. And let me start by saying that I'm deeply conscious that my tenure as ICC Chair has come at a remarkable uncertain time for the global economy. With the hangover and the disruption caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, the international spillover effects of the war in Ukraine, and most recently, the truly tragic events in the Middle East over the past weeks. We now live in an era where we talk about fragmentation and volatility as a norm. And I know that amidst this global crisis, Sri Lanka has recently experienced its most challenging period in recent times, socially, economically, and politically. A situation that has had a devastating impact on people's lives throughout this great country. As ICC, I am proud to say that over the past 3 years, we have consistently advocated to the G20 for a stronger and coordinated measures to support countries in debt and distress. And above all, for practical solutions that ensure sovereign debt crisis can be resolved swiftly and with minimum suffering to the lives and livelihoods. In this connection, and despite many delays, I am reassured to hear that the Sri Lankan government has made important progress in recent days in agreeing terms to restructure its debt with key bilateral creditors. And looking to the future, I hope that there is an opportunity to chart a program of domestic reforms capable of building stronger, more resilient, and more inclusive economy. Please be assured that the ICC stands ready to work with you in the pursuit of this goal. Clearly, this will be a multi-year process of reform. But even so, we shouldn't forget the opportunities that exist today at a micro or pragmatic level to boost trade and small businesses as a driver of productivity and job creation. We see huge potential for Sri Lanka at no or minimum cost to prime its trade capacity, and while doing so, bring the benefits of international commerce to smaller enterprises. And I would like to point 3 areas in particular. First would be implementing common sense customs and trade facilitation reforms to reduce unnecessary trade costs. Polling from our network consistently shows that complex trade bureaucracy as the primary barrier to SMEs engaging in global value chains. The International Trade Center research has pointed to the same conclusion. Our experience co-leading the Global Alliance for Trade Facilitations shows that small changes in customs formalities, such as utilizing advanced rulings for clearances, can often have a huge impact on the ability of smaller firms to engage in global trade. And importantly, avoid costly delays in getting goods across borders. Second, on a related note, is the digitalization of trade processes. In a world where we have seen extraordinary advances in digitalization in recent years, it is quite remarkable that the global trading system still operates on the basis of trillions of paper documents, all of which increases the cost and the complexity of doing business, and which, as we saw during the pandemic, render the global trading system highly susceptible to exogenous shocks. Again, there are low-cost, common-sense interventions that governments can make to banish paper from the trading system, starting with adopting international consistent legal reforms to give proper legal recognition to electronic trade documents. And business too has a role to play here. we are making rapid progress in aligning industry behind common standards and trusted systems through our flagship Digital Standards Initiative. And we would love to collaborate with businesses here in Sri Lanka through ICC Sri Lanka on the journey to take unnecessary paperwork out of the global trading system. And third, I would encourage you to reflect on the need to invest in developing local skills and capacity for international trade. We have been delighted to work in Sri Lanka in recent months through our World Chambers Federation on a number of capacity building schemes related to export documentation. And I hope that this can be springboard to bring the wealth of expertise that ICC has to the private sector at large in Sri Lanka, delivering the skills and knowledge that companies and entrepreneurs need to enter global value chains, including through our global ICC Academy platform. In short, I hope you will see ICC as a vital partner in the journey that I hope lays ahead to build a stronger and vibrant Sri Lankan economy. I know that this country's rich human capital, heritage, and business culture brings an enormous opportunity in a highly competitive global economy. And I'm pleased to see ICC as your trusted global partner to take the fullest possible advantage of that. Thank you very much.